Good morning, MDY, and happy Mother's Day. Hopefully, you knew that today is Mother's Day and you're celebrating that accordingly. I want to begin today by saying we are going on a treasure hunt today for Bible class. We are trying to search for the treasure that is found not actually on a map, not actually anywhere out there, but our treasure hunt begins and ends right here within your heart. And so if you would turn to Luke chapter 2. We're gonna read there. I hope you have a Bible and you can read along with us. We are taking a break this morning from the parables of Jesus, and we're just looking at a story in the life of Jesus, actually, really a story about Jesus' mother, Mary, because today's Mother's Day and we want to celebrate that the best we can. But in Luke chapter 2, we see this incredible moment two times in Luke chapter 2 in regard to Mary. Now, you understand, Mary is the mother of Jesus. She carried him for 9 months. She gave birth to him. She is his mother in every way. Even though the beginning of that pregnancy was kind of weird by any standard, she is his mother and loves him the way most any mother would love their child. So just keep that in mind as we read this. But in the very beginning, we see this situation where there are shepherds out in a field, and angels come to them and say, "Hey, listen, this crazy thing happened, and we need you to go find this baby that was born, find this crazy thing that went on." So the shepherds pack up and leave, and they go to find what the angels were talking about, and they get to where they were going, and here's what it says. In verse 17, it says, "When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what had been told to them about this child. And all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherd said to them. And Mary treasured up all these things in her heart." See, Mary heard about that. She heard about all the incredibly amazing things that were being said about her child, about her son. As any mother would be incredibly proud, their heart would just be bursting when they heard great things being told about their child. Then a little bit later in the same chapter, in Luke chapter 2, Jesus grows 12 years in one chapter. But by the end of Luke chapter 2, Jesus is 12 years old. And there's this incredible story about when he and his family were in Jerusalem and he got separated from them. The family left. They actually started on the way home and realized, oh, Jesus isn't with us. So most parents would be going crazy. They would be flipping out. Their son was lost. They would be angry. They would all that all at once. But they go back to Jerusalem to try to find Jesus. When they finally get back, they find him in the temple, actually 12-year-old boy, teaching the adult teachers. And people were amazed. But anyway, they find him, and I can only imagine what went down. Mary loves, she treasures Jesus in her heart. Love him dearly, but I can imagine both the consolation they felt of finally finding their son, and then the anger, what were you thinking? What were you doing? And anyway, regardless of how that went down, at the very end of the chapter, it says, "But his mother treasured all these things in her heart." So I just think it's so incredibly special to read about Mary and about how she loved Jesus as most any mother would love their child, treasuring them in their heart. And so our treasure hunt today, though, isn't really about Mary. Our treasure hunt is about you and me. And so in Matthew chapter 6, verse 21, there's an incredible thing that's going on here, because this same little boy that we just saw, baby in a manger, 12-year-old boy lost from his parents, this same person now as a man in Matthew chapter 6 and verse 21. And Jesus says, this teaching, he says, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. I just wonder if he knew about his mother's treasure and that she treasured him in her heart the way she did. But he tells us, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So here's my challenge for us this week, to go on a treasure hunt and figure out where our treasure is. So the thing is, we're not looking out there. We're not looking in a neat book trying to figure it out. We're looking right inside here. And so I would ask you to think about what treasure is. Treasure is something that is very valuable. Treasure is something that is very important. And treasure is something that people sacrifice for. In all those old movies, we see people going treasure hunting, and they sacrifice they sacrifice years and time. It's crazy what they're sacrificing to go search for this treasure. But I want to ask you, what are the things that are important in your life? Where do you spend the majority of your time? Where are you sacrificing for in your life? So those are the ways we begin seeking what the treasure in our life really is. You may be thinking, oh man, or you may figure out at least on this treasure hunt, man, I'm spending 10 hours a day playing video games. I would say that then part of your treasure is in video games. You might say, and some people are proud of it, like I'm binge watching 12 hours a day of Netflix. I would say, if you really want Netflix to be your treasure, if you want Netflix to be your heart, then good for you. But I would relook at that. I would ask myself, where am I sacrificing a great deal of my time? There could be a lot of things at school that you could be really involved in, good things, sports and band, other extracurricular activities. But understand that those things sometimes become our treasure. And do we want them just to be extracurricular activities to put on a college application? Do we want them just to be things that we engage in with our friends? Or do we really, is that really where we want our treasure to be? See, there's a big difference there. I would take a look at, okay, I'm spending 12 hours a day in this pursuit. I'm spending 6 hours a day with this one person and thinking about this person and time with this person. I would say, okay, but where's your heart in relation to God? Are you bringing God into that relationship? Are you bringing God into that activity? Are you doing that for the glory of God and for his pleasure, or is God nowhere in the picture? See, think about that. If you're bringing God into everything, then I would say, good job. Your treasure's in the right place. Your heart's in the right place. But this week, I encourage you, go on a treasure hunt. Be aware of where you're spending your time. Be aware of what you're sacrificing for. Right now, you may be spending 12 hours a day just being absolutely lazy. And I would say, if that's the case, if you're accomplishing nothing, if you're doing nothing, then I would say maybe laziness is your treasure right now. Not a great treasure to have. But I would encourage us to be aware that we must be pursuing God. We must be pursuing his will, his ways, his word, his son. And if we begin to do that and realize, okay, I want my heart to be in pursuit of God, because that's where I want my treasure. I want my treasure to be the right kind of treasure. So I want to conclude by announcing the winner of last week's Photo of Your Life contest. And so once again, 2 weeks in a row, Miriam Logston has just killed it with her pictures. She had huge numbers of votes for her hammock in the woods picture. I was jealous. I wanted to be in that hammock in the woods. Second place goes to Emberly Wills, and we're going to get both of you prizes for your great pictures. We're going to put up another Photo of Your Life contest this Thursday morning. Get involved, submit a picture, and let us see what's going on in your life right now. This Sunday afternoon, we usually have our weekly check-in, but since it's Mother's Day, a lot of you are going to be spending time with family, and we're gonna punt our weekly check-in to Monday afternoon at 2:30. So join us tomorrow for a quick check-in. Just join us, if you've got only 5 minutes, just join us. We just like to see your face. Be present, encourage someone. This Tuesday at 12 noon, lunch, we'll do lunch Bible study again. I'll post on Facebook or Instagram. We'll text out the passage for this week. And stay tuned to those social media networks for what's coming up in youth group as well. So I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. I know this is a tough day for some. Mother's Day can be an incredibly great day, and Mother's Day can be really hard for others. But I pray that it will be good for you. I pray that you find the good in it and help to make it good for someone else. Have a great week.